Are you good to go then?
Yeah, sure.
Brilliant.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to Law Hackers. Today we're talking to Warren Smith, who's the CEO and co-founder at Access Solicitor here in London. Thanks for talking with me, Warren.
Very welcome.
Warren, can we kick off with the traditional question, your elevator pitch, Access Solicitor? Run it through what it does.
Okay, Access Solicitor is a comparison website for lawyers with a matching algorithm that we're developing with Westminster Uni. For consumers, we're adding transparency to the marketplace and choice tools. For lawyers, we're providing a lower risk, higher quality lead generation solution.
And tell us about your background. You've come from a legal background.
Yep.
Talk us through your journey about identifying this problem and kicking it off.
Sure. Qualified as in the city. Then moved in-house fairly early. Spent most of my career in global media companies, half as a lawyer and half on the commercial side. So I think I've kind of seen digital marketing coming up from the beginning of the 2000s, the legal professions, typically behind. I was involved in on-demand media with Universal Studios about 8 years ago, and so the vision was to help lawyers. My entrepreneurial mission, if you like, is to help lawyers market themselves more effectively and find the clients they want online.
And is this your idea? Did you kind of kick it off, or did you team up with some co-founders and do it together? Talk us through how.
Sure. I first pitched an online marketing, a video marketing business to Angels back in 2009. So I've been knocking around the scene for a little while. That's around the time that I first started talking about different options with my co-founders.
Yeah.
It took us till about 2012 before we funded and decided to go with Access Solicitor.
Very good. And is it how many is on your team in terms of your co-founders and also where you're at in terms of a team?
Yeah, so there's two other co-founders. Divyang has a background in web streaming. He's a full-time angel. He's also our FD. Our other founder is Stephen. He's a VC. Got two other full-time staff, and as is typical with early stage, everything else is kind of outsourced to partners, but we try and keep those partners kind of one step removed from the core team, so that there's like a small family in terms of the team pulling forward.
Yeah. And so you've got an online platform, people come in, they search or post jobs onto your platform. How does it actually work in practice? Yeah,
okay, so there's no posting of jobs on the platform as such. So basically we're aggregating all the lawyer information. So we've got an offshore research company that's aggregating information from every UK law firm's website. We're going area by area. We then triangulate that with the regulators and various other sources so that we have a deep repository of lawyer information. Then there's choice tools, search, so that people can filter the lawyers, find a shortlist, and it's at that point that the algorithm will kick in, so that the good lawyers will float to the top, and they'll be recommended. That's a piece that we're still testing in the background. There's features that we haven't added to the site for that yet, such as the customer feedback loop, which will be important for that.
And when did you guys, launch what is the current site?
Yeah, so we launched the proof of concept site last August, so August 2013. To do that, we basically took some commercial data, 25,000 lawyer records, and validated our data processes to ensure that we ended up with 13,000 real lawyers. We've now automated that process. The next stage was the offshore team, so we're now building much deeper information. We've now increased to 20,000 lawyers in total, of which 6,000 of those have enhanced information. We're continuing to roll that about 5,000 a month.
Oh wow! Just in the UK, or are you looking?
Yeah, just the UK. Yeah. Focused on England and Wales first. We've got most of east of England covered. We've got Birmingham and Bristol to come, and then we're looking at the areas where we're starting to see the most inquiries through the site, through more of the raw data, which helps us kind of decide where we're going to enhance the data. And there's a lot of analysis going on around that right now in terms of what kind of practice areas, what geographies, etc., etc., are really working. I think the really interesting thing is being able to look at the whole marketplace, and see, you know, where the leads and traffic are coming, what quality they are, what volumes they are, etc.
Yeah. And do you guys have a revenue model attached to this? Like, how do you guys make money? And I guess if you do have customers, how's that all tracking?
Sure. Well, again, so we've tried different things. We started out introducing clients directly to the lawyers, but then trying to sell them on the basis of metrics. So many clicks, so many referrals, etc. Lawyers found it quite difficult to connect the metrics to this client and he paid me X fees. So for that reason, we, out of necessity, added a call centre around March. That meant we had to get regulated, so you know that caused a little delay. But since June, we've had that working, and we started generating revenues in August. We've had 2,000 inquiries, we've made 150 odd referrals, and we've got about 20 odd clients that are coming back saying, yeah, we'd like some more. Pricing just varies depending on legal practice area, and is something that, you know, we're testing.
Is that pricing per lead at the moment?
Yeah, price per lead at the moment, apart from personal injury where you're not allowed to. But yeah, fundamentally that's it. The introduction, again, we try and de-risk it for the lawyers by saying, look, you can have the first introduction on a deferred pay basis. So we give you a couple of months to see if this client will convert. You know, we believe in our process, we believe that will happen. It's not 100% guarantee, but if it does, then, you know, they'll come back and they'll say, yeah, I'd like some more, please.
Great. And is the plan to keep growing revenues and bootstrap as much as you can, or will you look for outside funding?
Yeah, I mean, we're bootstrapping. We've raised a couple of smallish angel rounds. You know, we're now in the low six figures in terms of spend so far. We're looking to raise another 250 in a round that'll just help us scale out the data across the UK, test different local marketing options. So that, you know, once we get there, we've got a fully national, deep repository of data, and then we can consider consumer promotion and where we go from there.
Yeah, cool. Well, in terms of competitor landscape, listing services and marketplaces, they've been around for a while. There's a new wave of this sort of product coming in. Where do you see yourself in that marketplace, and what's your pitch to kind of steal market share?
Sure. I mean, I think there's a lot of aggregators trying to put brands over, so Quality Solicitor and similar. There are a lot of firms out there that are trying to innovate to come online. There's a lot of firms that are innovating in terms of price and other things. I don't think there's anyone out there that's aggregating data in the way that we are and trying to take a holistic whole market approach. And that, I think, sets us apart.
Not in the UK, you mean?
Not in the UK. I mean, there's Avo in the US and in other marketplaces, but in the UK, there's no one trying to do it the way we are. So that's kind of the main thing that I think sets us apart.
Oh, great. Well, in terms of your journey so far, I know you've been at the entrepreneurial thing for a while, but for Access Solicitor, say, what's been your biggest lessons learnt so far in this business?
Things take longer than you think.
Yeah.
I think that every entrepreneur will tell you that. Also, I think mistakes are okay. I mean, we've made a few along the way. I think mistakes, so long as you shift quickly, are just good learning and part of the journey, and you shouldn't get too hung up on those. And actually you learn a lot more very often from what doesn't work before you can actually find the right thing, and sometimes it's necessary to make those mistakes in order to get on the right path. Absolutely.
I mean, you talked earlier about needing to be regulated, and it might not have been a mistake, but you talked about that being a setback as well. I mean, a lot of startups must get so far down the path and then suddenly realise they've got a regulatory issue. We see it time and time again. Well, we tried the
fully automated solution. That's the ideal scenario, but actually in the legal world, people still want to deal with somebody. And some aspects can be automated, but not everything. And for that reason, we know it's a cost, we know it's a potential constraint to scalability, but we believe this is a necessary part of the overall solution, at least through the medium term. We're using it very much as an intelligence building tool, with a view to feeding that back into automation so much as we possibly can in the future.
Yeah, well, there'll be a lot of legal startups, I guess, probably getting to that point, with many of them trying to automate everything there is to do with the legal space.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Just on that, legal tech, lots going on. Do you have any real standout legal startups that are on your radar?
Yeah, I mean, I like, some of the legal marketplaces. I talked to quite a few of them. So, we've tried in what we're developing to take some of the best of what we've seen, particularly in the US market, so Avvo and Total Attorney. Outside the marketplace space, I think Clio's, pretty interesting, for obvious reasons. But yeah, to be honest, we're too busy doing what we're doing to necessarily, spend too much time looking at what everybody else is doing. I try and keep an eye on it, but I don't get under the skinner too much.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. Well, thanks so much for your time, and really appreciate you talking us through your journey and your story.
No, that's great. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Warren. Cheers.